Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 102 of the Battleship Brawl Season 3 tournament. This episode we've got a league battle between the BB64 Wisconsin by Nutterchap and the BB33 Arkansas by Nutterchap. Yeah, there's technically a rule in where you're not supposed to have two ships on the field at once from the same person. But I messed that up when I introduced the Arkansas, and I just let it slide because the whole point of the rule is to keep a single builder, from flooding the field with all of their vessels. And since the Wisconsin has been here forever, I felt they were far enough apart. I just said forget it. And then we end up with this situation where the two have naturally come to meet because of through the priority system that I have set up for this. And to make things even more interesting, the Wisconsin is on 9 battles and 1.5 lives. No matter what happens here, it is going into the Hall of Champions. The Arkansas, however, has 1 life. So if it loses, it is being retired. So there is the possibility, if the Wisconsin wins, of both of Nutterchap's vessels being retired at the exact same time. So let's go ahead and get this underway and see what happens. Well, first we have to get through the Wisconsin spawns to collision lag, because that's a feature. It's one of the quirks of the vessel. I'm gonna be sad to see it go. The Wisconsin's been here forever. Very first ship submitted to this tournament, way back when. Oh, and the Wisconsin lands a pretty heavy strike right off the bat. And it looks like the Arkansas did not do much damage in return. Oh, wait, never mind. Take that back. That gun is heavily damaged. Oh, Wisconsin juking those shells at close range. You don't see cram shells get dodged at that range very often. Wisconsin has a very fast turn rate. Very agile vessel. Very durable as well. Arkansas having some trouble landing hits. Oh, but it got one there. Oh, right in the turret face. That gun has to be hurting after that. Yeah, it's lost all of its gauge pieces. It's not doing much of anything anymore. Wisconsin down to 89%. Arkansas 92%. Still in draw territory. But the Arkansas has repair capabilities while the Wisconsin does not. So those damaged guns that are out of commission, they are going to stay out of commission. They will never come back. This front turret here seems to be the only weapon the Wisconsin has left, and it's facing the wrong way. There it goes. It finally realized what it's supposed to be doing. It's turning around the other way. Oh, big explosion, ripping off a whole bunch of blocks from the superstructure. Part of the superstructure falls off. The Wisconsin is quickly getting turned into a wreck. And with only 1 turret left on the front there, I'm not sure it's going to have what it takes to send the Arkansas home here. It's kind of interesting with the smokestack. It doesn't look right when there's only one of them doing the effect. It looks pretty strange. Yeah, the Wisconsin is unfortunately just been battered by the Arkansas's weaponry. That forward gun's still surviving though, so it's not over yet. It's definitely the battle is definitely leaning in the Arkansas's favor at the moment. But, as long as the Wisconsin's, you know, not despawning and has a weapon to fire, it has a chance. You never know. It could fire 3 volleys in a row and knock out every single weapon that the Arkansas has. It's unlikely to happen, but it could. Or, you know, a lucky critical AI hit. Oh, and there goes that final gun. It just got clipped in the back here, and that blew off a whole bunch of parts, and that explosion corded and ripped out all the gauge. So that is going to be it for the Wisconsin. There's no way for it to come back from this. It has no weaponry. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. It could sit on the Arkansas and hold it under the water until it drowns. We've seen that happen a couple of times in various tournaments. That is possible. But the Arkansas isn't below 80%, so that's going to require like, it would have to hold it under and give it a disqualification despawn, which... I mean, it's got to stay at point-blank range, holding the enemy down for a minute. Possibly taking shots the whole while and survive. Not likely. Nope. On the bright side, this is basically the best outcome that Nutterchap could hope for. Wisconsin was going into the Hall of Champions no matter what happened. Now the Arkansas is not being retired, and it's actually getting out of the danger zone for retirement. It'll have 1.5 lives after this, so if it loses another match, it'll still be around. And since this is its 6th battle, it's approaching the endurance win itself. But it's still got a pretty long road to travel. It's like, come on, Arkansas, just put it out of its misery already. Wisconsin's engines keep starting up then stopping. That isn't helping with the whole accuracy issue that the Arkansas is having. If the stern back here would just fall off like it should, that would assuredly make the Wisconsin too damaged. Or that works too, just a shower of blocks as a shell hits it. And that is it. The Wisconsin is too damaged and going to despawn. So congratulations, Nutterchap. This couldn't have been a better result for you. Anyway, gonna do a quick cut here. We'll take a look at the Wisconsin before sending her off to the Hall of Champions. Alright folks, so here we are, the Wisconsin by Nutterchap, the very first vessel submitted for this tournament. It has been a long time coming, but it is finally being retired. It has fought long and hard, and it has very much earned its place in the Hall of Champions. This thing has been through hell and back. So let's go ahead and first we're going to take a look at the aesthetics here. Got these, oh, no wonder it's pretty quick. It's got these sort of tiered propellers. That's actually really cool looking, too. I like that. Got some rudders lining all along the back of it. Does it have front rudders too, I wonder? Yep, it does. That's why that's why this thing can turn on a dime like it does. Very quick turns. And the thing is just littered with secondaries. You know, they don't actually function, but they're cool looking. Looks like it used pipe and various sloped blocks and things to make little anti-aircraft guns and secondary cannons, and it's pretty awesome. The Wisconsin looks great. I love the smokestacks. They're just chugging away. Very good-looking vessel overall.
Receiving.
What's going on with my... There we go. Ah, right. I'm already in the seat. Anyway, so let's go ahead and see how fast the Wisconsin actually goes. As you can see, it's a pretty quick vessel. It's up there on the speed limit. The maximum speed allowed in this tournament is 22 meters per second. And the Wisconsin's doing 17 and a half-ish, 18. Let's just call it 18 meters per second. So that's fairly quick. Not the fastest, but it's definitely on the quick side. And we've already seen how this thing turns. It's right on the edge of what I would consider acceptable for turn rate. You can see there's a little bit of twitchiness and jitter. Like if you look at the horizon and whatnot, you can see that it's almost not smooth. Almost, but it's like right on the line. If it was any more than that, I wouldn't have accepted it. So yeah, here we go. We've got the main armament. Only 9 guns. That's a very small armament compared to most ships in this tournament, but they are quite powerful. They're 2 meter. Well, no, they're 1950. Well, the outer ones are 1956, while the inner one is 2 meter. That's interesting. They're heavy. They've got heavy kinetic and explosive damage. I wonder how much exactly of each it has on firing. Not. I mean, that was fully crammed. I want to see what the actual fired stats are. So I'm gonna fire it and see what the. Okay, that is the correct one. 10,846 with 67 armor pierce, 12k explosive. That's a pretty healthy shell there. That'll do some damage, for sure. I'll pull that off, and we can look at the weapon. Look at it on my weapon test platform here in a minute. After I do the, I want to look at the armor scheme. So we've got heavy armor square corners on the inside, reinforcing. Also metal square corners. The heavy armor is probably reinforcing where the turrets are. Yes, that is exactly what's going on. And it's only got oh, see, now that's interesting. This right here with these square corners, with them putting the source block right up against here, puts a lot of high explosive damage reduction. Because it's like, okay, you've got the wood out here. That's not going to do anything. If a high explosive shell hits, that's going to basically, just the kinetic damage will destroy that wood, right? Oh, those are actually square corners as well. Really had to cut corners on the armor scheme here to make it work, but you can't tell from the outside. They just look like flat beams. So then you've got 2 meters of stone, and then up here on the top you've got an additional 3 meters of metal. That's going to actually give these upper blocks here some pretty hefty high explosive resistance. Down here, not as much. Actually, nope. It looks like there's a gap because I have it in expanded mode, but no, those cover the whole thing. So yeah, this against high explosive, this setup will work fairly well. Not great, and it won't do anything to stop penetration fuses. Like, its own guns would go through this armor like it was tissue paper. At least in these parts. over here where you've got the actual cannons, you've got, you know, that outer armor, then you've got its heavy armor reinforced. But since they're square corners and whatnot, the square corners only have 1,000 health. And then you've got this inner armor, which is actually pretty thick. You've got armor on the turret itself and then armor surrounding it. 3 layers of metal beams, it looks like. So yeah, a good kinetic shell hitting right here will probably still be able to get through it if it's fused well for that purpose. It depends on the fuse type. The armor is, it's alright. The fact that it's made a lot of square corners really reduces its hit points. But yeah, that looks like that's pretty much the armor scheme all around. On the front, you've got stone backed by metal beams. More metal beams around the turret compartment there. Got some stone around the engines. And then stone and heavy armor reinforced ammunition boxes. So the armor is, I would call it good, but not great. Like it's got all of the, like, protecting the specific, the important components like the ammunition, the engines, the turrets are done here, but it's not very heavy. The armor, it'll do really well against high explosive because of how the outer layer is set up, and there's spacing between the outer layer and the turret. So like it'll do really well against high explosive damage, which explains why it was able to take on the artillery yard like it did. Because they used some kinetic, but that was mostly high explosive, I think. Then you've got some armor up here as well. And this is pretty decent armor. It's not super heavy, but it's good and efficient. That's why over the course of the tournament, I saw the Wisconsin take turret hits directly to its turret a couple of times and maybe lose a barrel, which is impressive. So I can't say that the armor is bad. It is most definitely on the good side of average, but it's definitely not the heaviest armor you can achieve. That's for sure. But I mean, it worked. It got it to the Hall of Champions, so I can't exactly knock it now, can I? So all right, I'm gonna go ahead. Whoop, wrong button. There we go. Go ahead and save this turret. Going to destroy that. Pull in my weapon test platform. So mentioned in, oh, I fell off.
Listening.
Way to go. Totally professional video now. But yeah, as I've mentioned before, I use this platform to test out my weapons, see what their damage numbers are like, use some armor scheme type stuff. Like this is, just testing purposes, just to see what happens. And wow, I didn't really realize how big these turrets are until just now when I put it on the platform. Like, this is not a small turret. No wonder it only has 9 guns. This thing is huge and has to be expensive. Let's see how it's laid out on the inside. Looks like it's pretty efficiently laid out. This ammo box has 3 connections. This has 4, so it's a lot of 4 connections. A lot of, well, this one only has 3, it looks like. But 3 and 4 connections, that's pretty efficient. Like, that's a pretty efficient layout. You'll get a lot of bang for your buck laying it out like this. Like this ammo box only has 1, but it's just an ammo box. They're cheap. Only cost 20. So it's, a little bit of fire rate increase. Oh yeah, these are 2-meter guns with a 13.61 reload time. That's pretty impressive. Like, I think the Nagome, it uses 2-meter shells as well, and I think it has like a 16-second reload time. So that's actually pretty impressive. I mean, these are some massive cannons. They take up a lot of materials. How many materials does it take up, I wonder? I want to look. 35.7 thousand materials for one of those guns. That's pretty hefty. That's expensive. That is a lot of investment in a single sub-object. That's why it only has 3. So yeah, congratulations, Nutter Chap. You've got an entry into the Hall of Champions. If you guys think the Wisconsin should be voted into the Hall of Beauty as well and become a Hall of Famer, go ahead and upvote the comment that says so down in the comment section. If you don't think it's good enough for that, upvote the one that says don't induct it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.